Hey guys, it's Molly. Today we're gonna do kind of a different thing. You guys, I'm just gonna shuffle some cards while I talk. So this is gonna be a different kind of reading today. I'm coming and bringing some topics and answers today from some emails I've gotten from some of the Star Gang members. So while I'm talking, you guys, I am channeling. So anything I say is part of your message. So as I was getting ready, I'll say and all right and to clear the energy. So while I'm talking, I'm going to be reading off some notes because look at what happened, you guys. Oh my gosh. So anything I say is part of your message. I may sound funny. I may sound weird. Because I'm just channeling energy. All right. So this morning I thought, how I'm going to get the message across in one video of different concepts that people are interested in. And I've inquired about, so I thought I'll do a video and then I'll shuffle cards while I'm talking about it and see what the cards have to say. So here's where we're at. Yeah. All right. Boom. The awakening. Spiritual awakening. Yes, yes, yes. This is it right here. So our topics that we're going to talk about is quick, we're going to talk about Lightworkers. We're going to talk a little bit about narcissism. We're going to talk about the twin flame journey. And we're going to talk about why my readings resonate. What the hell is going on? How am I speaking directly to you? Yeah, a lot of people, are like, what's going on here? So I'll explain that. And some people have wondered if they are receiving messages from loved ones through my readings. So we'll talk about that. All right. So you guys, look at this. My notes. Yep. I think only I would be able to understand this. You guys, this is so cool. I wrote all this out while listening to my headphones and listening to music. This was like 2.5 songs, so I don't know, maybe 10 minutes. Yeah. So, yeah. Let's go. Let's start. You ready? So I'm just going to have my notes off to the side here to kind of keep me on track. I'm going to be doing a lot right now. To bring forth this message. I have all my stuff on. Yeah, very important messages here. Yes. I went to polish my nails, touch them up to bring this very important message. But I felt called. Spirit was like, nope. So the nail polish is a thing. Yeah. Sort of tells where we're at. Yep. All right. So we're doing pretty good. A little chipped. Yeah. All right. So first let's talk about, there has been a warning to Lightworkers. Ooh. My video just slowed a little bit in the energy there. That was kind of weird. Okay. About triggering. Yes. So as light workers, yeah, our job is to shine light on things. Yes. And that may trigger people. Yep. Maybe upsetting to people. That spirit. Maybe making them take a look at their own ego. And oftentimes it triggers people. Yes, and people hate the word trigger because all you see is that weird gif of that person getting triggered. But that is how it feels. Spiritually, emotionally, when you get triggered. When people get triggered. So this is a message to Lightworkers, yes. People are going to start getting triggered, and you may start facing people who are doing armchair analysis on you, bullying, inclusions, ridicule. They may make fun of you, something like that. Yeah, there it is. But we do have to remember we are in a point right now, and lots of readers have channeled the same message where it's as we're coming out of quarantine, the world is kind of opening back up. There's like a karmic justice thing happening. People are, it's like finals. Finals are on in school. Did you learn your lessons? Heavy narcissism energy may be in the spotlight. People may be able to identify that. May be very clear who's, Star Wars speak, who's fighting for the Empire and who's fighting for the rebellion. Yep. There are people who were unable or unwilling to do the shadow work. That a lot of people did during this weird time in history where everybody got sent to their room to self-reflect. Yep. And those that did are raising their vibration. It doesn't mean they're better or worse. It means they did the work and now they're vibrating at a different level. All right. Because there has been a mass awakening. Tons of people are waking up, having spiritual awakenings right now because this time of quarantine made us all, we had no choice. Yep, Spirit sent us down that journey. And a lot of you were sent on a twin flame journey. And I had been sent on a twin flame journey. I know what it feels like. So what I'm going to explain right now, you guys, is what the twin flame, what my personal opinion. I am a divine feminine, energy. The masculine, may be feeling this right now. Okay. All right, I just have to catalog that way. All right, I am a divine feminine energy. Yes. And so I only know the twin flame experience from the divine feminine energy. The divine masculine obviously has their own experience, but I will explain what the journey was like on my end. Yes. There it is, 10 of Wands. Those of you on the journey are giggling right now. Yes. All right. So the twin, I'm just going to let you look at these for a minute. You don't need to try to figure out what the cards mean. Just try to listen to what I'm talking about. Sure. The twin flame journey is brought upon because I'll use her for example. Okay. Thank you, Queen of Pentacles, for helping us out. Get your imagination hats on, guys, because we're going to talk about the bog bodies. Yes. So in our life, we have different events, traumatic, whatever it is. Yes. That hurt us, wounded us. Yes. And many of us took these wounds and we pushed them way down somewhere here in our belly. Yep. And put a little box on them. Now my throat chakra is closing up. And we wouldn't talk about them. Yes. And you just put that hurt in that box and pushed it down. So I call them the bog bodies because we all know and have heard about those bogs in Europe. Yeah, where it has mummies. There's mummies kind of down under the bog, and all this plant material has grown over these that are like thousands of years old. Yes, they were some form of sacrifice or something that were given to the bog, and all this vegetation grew over it. And then all of a sudden, the environment will be perfect, and the bog will open up and it'll release one of these totally petrified mummies from 1,000 years ago, and it's a big deal, and you like learn about how this person got killed or annihilated or thrown to the bog or whatever. So that is my analogy for the spiritual awakening. There was a bog that was grown over your issues. Yes. Deep. And Spirit is going to send you on a journey to help you release the bodies. Yes, because we have to think of ourselves as vessels, as a pitcher. So think of this lady right here as a pitcher, like a water pitcher, a Kool-Aid pitcher, a pitcher. You can only fit so much in the pitcher. Yep. And then nothing else can be included in there. These bog bodies in here have taken up too much space in the pitcher. So Spirit has said, this beautiful Queen of Pentacles has to release all those bog bodies so we can make a whole bunch of room for the light to come in. Yes, she's been carrying the bodies for way too long, and we need something to come along and open the bog up for her so she can release these bodies. All right, so you get sent on a twin flame journey. Yeah. The twin flame journey is about releasing the bog bodies and healing and finding self-love. Yeah. So a lot of people think twin flames are split souls. There's all these discussions, different ideas on what the twin flame energy is. Whatever it is, I don't know how I even feel about what the split souls and all that kind of stuff. Whatever it is, there is an energy that comes into your life with this person, and it's an energy that you've never felt before. I do believe this energy is some sort of past life connection. This person, has entered your life to help you release the bodies. And so this person will be some form of catalyst, to help you spiritually grow. Yes. And unfortunately, the growth is a hardcore, painful process. Yeah. So these two people will meet, and the energy is like crazy. It's so intense. The feminine, for me, the first time I touched this person, I got like zapped. I felt this energy that I had never felt before. All these things, that was the catalyst. That energy exchange was the catalyst for me and started me on my journey. So two people will meet, and the energy is crazy and intense. And you may not have even kissed this person. You may not have even made out with this person, done anything with this person. It's just unexplainable. And there's like this little love bubble where you feel it and they feel it. And the feminine for sure remembers the connection. The masculine either doesn't or he won't say he does. And I refer to her and him with feminine and masculine just to identify the different energies. It doesn't necessarily mean the sex of the person. So we could be having same-sex couples here. We could be having male-born, a male-sexed person be the divine feminine and vice versa. You just got to work out who's who. Yeah. All right. So So the masculine, he either doesn't feel it, I don't know, or he won't, or he does and he won't say it. The other divine masculines who have completed the journey and have had a union with their divine feminine have explained too that the feeling is very, very intense for the masculine. And it triggers him so much. Yep, he has so many bog bodies too. Yep. In a way he's never been felt or triggered before, that he will sabotage this. Yep. He'll split, he'll ghost, he'll disappear. He may even smear her, like start talking some shit about her or something. Because his ego is getting totally checked. Yeah, He may leave her in a time of need, in a time, like even in like a dangerous situation or something, and just be like, I'm putting my armor on, see ya, that kind of thing. And that's all part of his journey, because he will, quote unquote, face the consequences of that later on in his journey, through feelings of regret and shame, and that's part of part of his healing journey. So, for example, when you get together, this person, they may give you, they may give you gifts, they may help you, they may be really into what you do, they may show a lot of interest, they may have a special talent or a trade that they're like, oh, let me take care of you, I'll take care of you. You want me to, whatever, do whatever for you, I'll do that for you. Yeah, and then out of nowhere, this person's like, they pull back. Yeah, they're like, they may do a complete 180. They may disappear. They may start saying hardcore things to you. Yeah. They may, and it's like, out of nowhere, it feels like they just turn on you. Things they may have done, like if they have a special trade or something, things they may have done for free because you're their friend or their girlfriend or boyfriend or whoever, this person you just met, they'll straight up say, now I'm going to charge you. Like, it's hardcore in a really weird way. They may do that. And what it is a spiritual gut punch. Boom, boom, right with the ring, right in that bog. Yep. And that person, whatever they, when they pull away, when they abandon, when they do that, it rips open the bog. Yep. Peels back all those layers of vegetation that were holding down all those wounds. Blows it apart. The bog is annihilated. And now the bodies start floating up. Yeah. All the things that you had tried to push down. This person ripped open the bog and there's nothing left but these bodies, these bog bodies, these issues, these petrified mummies from 1,000 years ago. Yep. Coming up, and now you got to deal with them. And that is what your spiritual awakening is. So many of you are here right now. And that's where you're at on your twin flame journey. And you're like, what the hell just happened to me? Many of you may not have even had any experience with any of these concepts, with spirituality in general, and you are having a full-on tower. Everything you have thought you knew, has been turned on a dime. You're seeing things from a different perspective. And that's because Spirit has said, basically, in my opinion, what's happening, and what I'm channeling right now is Spirit has said, enough is enough for you, my darling. Yes, we are taking over. You now have a new reality. You have been awakened. And I do have an awakening reading that kind of explains the bog bodies and the process even more. I'll put that in the comments down below. And you are going to now have to face the bog bodies that are being released. There's no going back. And you have to process and release it. And the thing is, you guys, it's a hardcore process. There is no going, you can't go back. Once you've been awakened, you can't go back to sleep. So you have to deal with it, yeah? And spiritual awakening, my loves, is not pretty. No, it's Spirit straight up pulling the rug out from under you, yeah? Yeah. You have to actually look at the, I'll just say maybe, the disgusting way you have been treated, or people have treated you. It's dealing with issues that you absolutely couldn't handle from your childhood, even way back then, yeah. All these things, it's your ego, it's annihilating your ego, and your ego is that thing inside us. People get egotistical and ego confused. The ego is the thing inside of us that tells us, you're not good enough, shut your fucking mouth, your ideas suck. That thing that stands in your way of your own success. It's yourself. It's totally insane. And you start to understand that with the spiritual awakening. Yeah. So, awakening, my loves, is lying on the floor, sobbing, snot running out of your nose. It's not pretty. It's not cloudy and puffy and angel feathers all around you. It is visceral. It is gross. It is literally giving birth to that. It's spiritually giving birth to that bog body. And you may have to give birth to several bog bodies. Yes. Through this awakening. It may be scary and traumatic, confusing, maybe freaky. Because you got all these bog bodies that you're like, what the actual fuck? Reality is now totally flipped. And you're like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Yeah. And it's because Spirit is waking you up and letting you understand. You may feel angry. You may feel angry at Spirit, Source, God, whatever you call it. Because there is no going back once the awakening has happened. You cannot go back to sleep. You cannot see things the way you used to see them. But then there's also this cool thing that happens because you actually understand that Spirit is a thing. It's real. And you're part of this magical experience that Spirit is allowing you to have. And it's making room for you to be successful and push forward and be triumphant. Yeah. It has to release those bodies to make the room for the light to come in. And now is the time for you, whether you choose to or not. That's the thing about spiritual awakening. You don't choose. Spirit, this is something that happens to you. Yes. Spirit decides. And you, my darling, it has happened to you. Yes. And Spirit is releasing those bodies so you can make room inside for the beautiful light to come in and raise your vibration. Yeah, Spirit is teaching you that you don't have to live that way with the wounding that you've been carrying. Yes, and it's once you release it, it's a whole new world. And Spirit is helping you. It's a difficult and painful journey. It sure is. The masculine. So they'll be in your life. You get this love bubble, and then they split. You release your bodies, your bog bodies, and they're doing their own internal work wherever they are. Yep. If this is a true twin flame connection, the masculine will use this time while you separate. You guys will separate. You won't talk, you won't deal with each other, you won't do anything. And they'll use that time to do their own healing. Now, do you sit around and obsess about them? For the first half of your journey, you probably will, because that's part of it. Yep. But the more you work on yourself, the more you raise your vibration, the less painful it is. Yep. And the more you raise your vibration energetically, the more he will catch up and put down those wands and raise his vibration. It just happens. It's the way it works in a true twin flame connection. And he has to work on his things. And then you both will work on your things for a very long time by yourself. And then if it is, if the time is right, if both people have become balanced, Spirit will give you an opportunity where you can come back. You may come back into each other's lives again. And there may be an opportunity to go on a journey together. So I say a true twin flame connection because, you guys, here is the total mind F that happens with a twin flame connection. It's very toxic because you're dealing with very toxic things. All these bog bodies, yes. A relationship with a narcissist is very similar. Yeah, that hurts. And narcissistic abuse can lead to spiritual awakenings. So any energy workers may be able to tell the difference between a narcissist and somebody who's their divine masculine. But if you're not an energy worker, it may be difficult for you to distinguish what the hell. Who am I dealing with? Am I dealing with a twin flame or am I dealing with a narcissist? And let's take a minute and just think about how intense this journey is, if you're thinking that. Yeah, okay. A narcissist is a wounded person. Yes, they are. But they are a dangerous wounded person. This is somebody who does have, I guess you would say maybe disorder. This is somebody who has a cluster B personality disorder. This is the same group. There they are. There's a narcissist right there. That's my narcissist card. This narcissist puts the dunce hat on this little boy and doesn't care how this little boy feels at all, because he's always right. This narcissist has no ability to do self-reflecting. All right? So a narcissist, is on the same category as a psychopath, as Charles Manson, yes. So we have to be careful on how we look at narcissists. A lot of times, very empathetic people will try to help people, and they'll take the dunce hat being put on them a bunch of times, because they think they're helping somebody. But a narcissist, my loves, is somebody that cannot do self-reflecting. Yeah, and they are very emotionally dangerous. Yes. So if you are going through a spiritual awakening due to narcissist abuse, there will be no union. No. There will be no coming together. This thing that I had talked about will not happen. Because a narcissist is unable to do self-reflecting. So you could tell yourself, and this is just no replacement for talking to a clinical psychologist or anything like that. This is just information to share. We have to remember that people, a lot of people are like, you have to be diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder to be a narcissist. You guys, narcissists don't think there's anything wrong with them. They think everything is wrong with everybody else. The narcissist doesn't walk into a psychologist's office and say, hey, diagnose me with NPD. It just doesn't happen. So, there are people who are diagnosed with this, but there's a whole big wider berth of people that have this, that are on the spectrum of narcissism. Yes. Because they don't just voluntarily say, hey, here I am. All right. So, the narcissist will come into your life. Yes, because they need supply. It's called supply. It's a form of attention, and power control. Yes. And so this person doesn't really see you as an equal person. No. They may never have taken time in their life to reflect if they, how they feel about people, that kind of thing. Because they can't do that self-reflecting. They think, no matter what damage is done, they're always in the right. And they can be extremely toxic people. Yes. So they will use you to get narcissistic supply. And you guys, it's so much easier. I'm just gonna, you'll get better information from people who can say it way better than me. And I'll put that down in the comments about supply and about triangulation. But